In the summer of 2013, archaeologists in southern Russia discovered strange artifacts while excavating burial mounds in the Caucasus Mountains. This discovery included several gold vessels that contained a sticky black residue on the inside. Upon analyzing the sample, researchers confirmed that the residue contained traces of opium and cannabis. The location in question was once the territory of a nomadic group known as the Scythians, who thrived between the 7th and 3rd century BCE, ranging from Thrace in the west across the steppe of Central Asia to the Altai Mountains of Mongolia in the east. As the residue was located on the inside of the vessels, researchers hypothesized that the Scythians used them to brew a strong drink consisting of opium and cannabis. However, was this a ritualistic practice, recreational activity, or both? In this documentary, we will explore the use of opium in the ancient world. We will travel to Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Greek island of Crete. The land of Mesopotamia, also known as the land between two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, or Sumer, is often attributed as being the cradle of civilization. This is where we see the first cities in Uruk, Ur, and Nippur. It is also here we get the earliest possible reference to the opium poppy. In the Journal of the History of Biology Spring of 1975 edition, Abraham Krikorian asserts that the Sumerians referred to opium as the joy plant. In addition, Dr. Leon Gusso claims that a tablet dating back to 4500 BCE also gives instructions on how to process it and prepare it for a drink. If the interpretation is correct, the fact that the Sumerians referred to it as the joy plant would illustrate that they were well aware of its mind-altering properties. The significance of opium in Sumer extended beyond its initial cultivation. As the Sumerians passed down their knowledge to the Assyrians, the use of opium became more widespread. This exchange of knowledge continued, with the Babylonians and the Egyptians learning of the opium poppy and its uses. The opium poppy's influence reached the heights of Egyptian society, where it was cultivated in the famous poppy fields of Thebes during the reigns of pharaohs such as Thutmose IV, Akhenaten, and King Tutankhamun. However, in this case, it appears to be a practice that was commonly reserved for priests, magicians, and warriors, and was associated with religious cultism. In addition, we see mention of opium in the Ebers Papyrus dating back to 1552 BCE. In this case, it was used as a sedative for children. It is also noted that this was how the goddess Isis would sedate her son Horus. It poses an interesting question. To what extent was Egyptian mythology, spirituality, and religion inspired by mind-altering substances such as opium? Another ancient civilization that is believed to have used opium were the Minoans of Crete. In a paper by Helen Askatopoulou, describes several lakithi, jars with narrow necks, from various places of central and eastern Crete. These jars were proposed to have been manufactured to store various products, including opium. While the jars have no inscriptions, there are many that seem to be shaped like an opium poppy. Researchers posit that this could be indicative of what the jars were used to store for the benefit of potential customers. Another interesting find comes from the form of terracotta figure known as the Poppy Goddess and dates back to 1300 BCE. That figure, found in a shrine in Gazi, depicts a bare-breasted female figure in a skirt with arms raised, upright, wearing a headdress that featured 3 poppy heads or capsules. The capsules each have a number of vertical notches of incision on them, signifying the method of extracting the opium was known. As we conclude this journey to the ancient world, we are left to wonder on the impact that opium and other substances may have had on ancient civilizations, from the Scythians of the Caucasus Mountains to the Sumerians of Mesopotamia, and from the shores of the Nile to the Minoan palaces on Crete. This particular plant's influence seems to extend beyond ritual or medicinal use. It is very possible that many of the myths and ancient lore that came from these cultures were inspired in an altered state of mind due to substances such as opium. This has been a glimpse into the past, a journey through time and consciousness. Brought to you by Tony Vega at the University of Arizona. Humanities 150. Stay curious and keep exploring the mysteries of our shared human heritage.